So my adventures with Superman first season has finished. I was able to binge watch it, so let's talk about it. So we had the first season of My Adventures with Superman come to a close now, and it had a 10 episode run. Each episode was about 20 minutes long. One of the things I do like that this series was able to do was that it actually felt like a classic type of Superman, where we get the sides of Clark Kent and we get the sides of Superman. With the way they portray Clark Kent in this series, with the way he's like sort of clumsy, bumbling kind of type of idiot, really starting out his career at the Daily Bugle as he's an intern. You know, having his friend Jimmy Olsen also go with him to the Daily Planet, being an intern also, and him meeting Lois Lane, where she is actually also an intern. So we get this whole side to the character of Clark Kent throughout the series, and also getting the character of Lois Lane, where she is just really persistent, always trying to get the scoop, with Jimmy Olsen along for the ride. We basically get the adventure of these three friends, but then we also get the side of the Superman character, and this is a Superman that's barely starting out, barely gets his costume. So this is a very early on Superman. And one of the things I did like that they did with the Superman character was that they didn't show him, even though he was all powerful, they did show him kind of struggle with villains and struggle with things, which I really did like that they did that. It wasn't always an easy fight for Superman. And of course, how other Superman stories go, we do have the ongoing sort of antagonist with the government. Actually, a lot of DC, not a lot, but a few DC characters actually show up, familiar DC characters. But really with this series, we also get a Superman who's really trying to figure out his powers. He's figuring out these new powers that he has, and also too with the lingering threat of trying to figure out where he comes from. Where he comes from, it's unknown to him. He's trying to figure it out as the series goes on. He knows he's not from this planet, and he's trying to figure out why and what is his purpose. We do get a lot of wholesome scenes in throughout the series where he's with his parents. Both of his parents are alive in this one. So a lot of wholesome scenes between them. I would say that this series definitely does feel like it was inspired by anime. The way the intro is, the intro just feels like it was plucked from an anime. With the way some of the fight scenes are, it just feels like it was definitely anime inspired by it. The animation also too feels inspired by it. There is even a suit up scene that a lot of people were comparing to Sailor Moon. So overall, it definitely does feel like it was inspired by anime. But when it comes down to it, this one is definitely kid friendly, so kids can definitely watch this series. I think some adults might like it if you're looking for something that's along the lines of like a classic early on Superman. I enjoyed the series for the most part, these first 10 episodes, the first season. At the end of the season, it does leave off, not a cliffhanger, but, you know, sort of a thing we could probably expect. And if you know Superman characters, you could definitely figure out what it is. I think this series at least deserves a check out. If you're looking for something sort of lighthearted with Superman, then this series might be up your alley.